Welcome back. This is the From A to Z podcast. I'm joined by a business unit manager and senior strategist, formerly an account manager who I worked on some awesome campaigns, some cool adventures we had there. But we'll get into that and a lot more. Find out all about that right here on the From A to Z podcast. Without further ado, let me introduce to you Mosima Manthata. Welcome, Mo.
There we go. Yay. Finally, I'm here.
You are here. Welcome, Mo. Thank you for your time. I know you're super busy.
I am.
Over here with your squad of feminine army rangers.
Yeah, all girls, all ladies, young, mixed, WCI, but love them.
That's
hardworking people here.
That's dope. But that is the current state of your journey in the advertising and communications industry. But we'll take it right to the beginning. This is the From A to Z podcast. We got to find out where you were up, where you were brought up, how you got into the industry, what you're working on, and the future. Are you ready to go from A to Z?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's go. I think you are born and bred in Limpopo. Am I right?
I was born in Tembisa Hospital.
In Tembisa Hospital?
I was staying in Tembisa. So from Kasi to suburbs to rural to Kasi.
Okay.
That's where I am.
Tell us about that. Like, what was that like? What was your upbringing like?
So my parents moved this side. Like, I think it was the same year my sister, because my sister was born in Petersburg Hospital, and then they came this side, and then a year later in Tembisa, and we actually stayed. Like, we were cool. Like, I'm from a cool, like, I was brought up right. I don't know if that means any sense, but I was fine in my bringing up. So we stayed in Tembisa. I was born, and then I think we only stayed there for like 5 years after, if I'm not mistaken. And then in that time, my mother worked, my dad worked, they did whatever they did, and then we moved to Kempton Park. And we just stayed in that vicinity, but different areas. So right now we're still in Kempton Park, but I think we moved like 3 times before the house we stay at now. Originally, in Limpopo, I'm very proud of that. Mm-hmm. So originally, Kaufela be from Limpopo, Manthata.
It's your own area.
Yeah, it's our own area.
Okay.
I mean, it's royalty.
Okay.
Status. Yeah, I'm from a royal family. And then I actually moved from school to school. My mother was the type of mother who wanted the best. So like in a space of primary, I think I went to 3 different primary schools, high school.
In Joburg.
In Joburg. I've never attended school in Limpopo, except for summer school, because I used to do summer schools, Kodendron Secondary School with my cousins. So that was like when they did holidays, and then we decided to go to school, because my other side of the family was so into education. Like even my grandfather was just like always. So, and then I did high school, got a boarding school. I was sent.
Okay. Did you go to Dower Glen High at some point?
I matriculated in my grade 11. So my grade 8 to grade 10, I was at Prestige College in Hammanskraal, and then I went to Dower Glen grade 11 and 12.
Okay. How was that experience? What kind of student were you in high school? I actually drive past Dower Glen every day. It's in my area.
Yeah. So like boarding school was nice, because I was there. I was in between. I wasn't like the it girl. I was just like a person. Grew up, and then when I went to Dower Glen, transition was different. I was staying home, number 1. And then number 2, and you know what helped me move is that I was always in private schools my whole life. Then government, and then I was at Dower Glen, which is a government school.
11, 12.
Yeah, no difference in terms of like the educational standard, which was cool. But in terms of the people, it was weird, because at some point, like, I guess I stepped on the wrong person's toe, and like these gangsters from Alex were just like these girls. I'm like, quit. But that was grade 11, and actually they apologized when we went to matric, and they stayed behind, because I mean, what? And then I was.
You see now. You messed with the wrong one.
And then matric. Funny enough, I was a prefect in that, so I was good with my grades.
Sports. What sports were you into?
Netball, through and through. I actually did athletics for a while. When I was in, like, so the different dynamics is that in the school that I matriculated in, it wasn't into sports as much as we were when we were at Prestige. So at Prestige, I used to do I did basketball at some point, but I did it for like 3 weeks just to impress this guy I was into. And then I did cricket, and it just didn't work because the ocean was this hot. But then I did athletics. I did long jump, high jump, I quit high jump because I never landed on the mat.
You land off the.
I landed either in between or at the other side. So I was just like, this is embarrassing. But I did long distance running. So I did
What,
like
1.5?
1.5.
Yeah.
There. And then I did netball. A lot of netball. Always 18. Always.
Okay.
When I went to Darwin, I played in my sister's team, which was grade high. And then became a coach in matric as well. I coached grade 10s when I was in matric. And yeah, it was cool. I did netball, loved it. Same varsity, I did netball, but I played for my race at UJ. So this is where
we were going to get into, but yeah, go ahead. Yes.
So I transitioned.
But before we get into UJ,
Sure.
how did you decide to study PR at UJ? Were there any other courses you had in mind?
Yeah.
And how did you land on that? What is the story?
Let me be honest with you. I wanted to study law. I was law through and through. And then my dad was like, no. I'm like, what do you mean no? It's like, no, you're going to do PR. I'm like, what the hell is PR?
You didn't even know what it was at that point.
I was like, what's PR? He's like, no. And then he's like, no, your sister Mokhadi and Intabiseng did it. And I'm like, oh, that's why. Because Mokhadi seems like they've got the money.
Okay.
Intabiseng as well, like went from varsity to getting a job. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Look, the thing is, some families, they want you to be a lawyer, doctor, or a surgeon or of some sort. And your father was pushing you towards the more creative side
of it.
Yeah.
And I guess he was right. Like to admit. But what I know is that I think my dad did do law, he just didn't complete it.
Okay.
So, that's how I got in. So when I was at Darwin, I was one of the 4 chosen students who could apply to UCT. I was scared. I was like, I don't want to move. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. So UCT, we applied, provisionally accepted. Then we did UJ, UP, and TUT. Funny thing with the TUT application, we lost the letter. Like, my parents actually drove with the letter to Limpopo because I was there for holidays. And they were like, your letter is here. It's in the car. We couldn't find it. Sign.
That was a big sign.
That was a big sign. Thank you, Lord. Yeah. But anyway, I was comfortable with UJ. In my life, in my mind, I was just like, I'm going to go to UJ.
You're from Joburg. You're comfortable.
I'm from Joburg. Let's just stay here. Yeah. Let's keep it here. Yeah. So yeah, I went to UJ. I'm approved or admission to public relations and communications. So I did that at Banting.
Okay. Let's talk a bit more about your family, like, because I see that your father is quite involved.
Very.
If you could put it like that. What was he like growing up, and what were some of the things that he instilled in you?
Yeah. So my father was that father that he always fetched me from school, always took me to school. I would see his car at second break, parked outside, because I was like, oh, that's my dad. You know, sometimes I'd read him and he'd be like, no, it's my, because they're gonna, like, he was scared that they're gonna be like, you know. So my dad was always there, in terms of like picking us up, making sure that we get there. My mother was always the working woman, like work, get the money, and then when we get home, it's like she'll only help us with maths.
Okay.
Because my mother literally, in matric, she literally got 100% for maths. So she's that type of woman. She's like, even in her days, computer science was like stuff that people don't do. It was just introduced. She studied computer science. Yeah. So my mother was very much the school, get things right, make sure you get A's. You're not doing math literacy. All my children are doing maths pure.
Shame, I had it easy.
And then when I would tell her about sports and stuff, yeah, she played netball, but my dad, however, was the one who taught me like life. My dad taught me to cook. My dad taught me to clean. So that it's weird because sometimes it's like your
roles reversed.
Yeah, roles reversed. My mother would come home at 6, help us with maths if she needs to. She used to do my hair, and then she's done. Dad came home, cook. I used to write weirdly. My dad used to like
left-handed.
Yeah, and both.
Are you still a lefty?
No,
you're not.
No, he hit me to a point where I can't even like. He was just like every single time I was doing my homework, he was just like. So yeah, my dad was a home dad, and then he would leave. But because he had his own businesses, he could leave at 4 while we just settled with our helper, and then come back at like 8. But at that time, my mother would be home, you know. So it was kind of like that kind of a family. So it was me and my sister for the longest of time. Doing it together. My sister was the more rebellious child. I was more the sweet one. Okay. But I'm the loud one. So usually when I project, my sister's the one who has to protect me. Now she has to like seem like a mean person because I'm the, you know. So yeah, and then we were together for like, it was just me and her, like with the world and my parents. And then the next thing, poof, I get a younger brother.
Your younger brother, you post quite a lot about him. You seem super proud of him.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
I'm super, super proud of my brother. My brother, when I remember there was a time we were at Dark Lane and he actually started grade 1, his first day in grade 1. And he actually told me the story. And before, so it's a busy road on their road.
Yes.
You know? So they're telling them that when you cross the road, you must go to the traffic lights, whatever. Because the guy thinks that he is smart. He just crossed the road where he could cross the road and it was a curve. So first day of school, my brother got hit by a car. Bang.
Listen, I've been hit by a car twice as well. But what happened? Yeah, what happened with him?
So like he got hit by a car. So my parents, it's not like they were late, but he was just impatient and he wanted to go to the garage. So it was like a curve there by Eden Vale. So because he went to Eastleigh Primary School. So it was like a kind of like a curve and then he didn't see the car. He was able to go to Engine, but when he was coming back from Engine garage. When he was coming back, he's actually signaling to my mom that I'm this side. And my mother obviously was like, going to the schoolyard, where else would you go? And then hit by a car.
First day of school.
First day of grade 1. And then that's when my mother was like, okay, what's happened? What's the commotion? Oh, my son. Dramatic. And then we got picked up. When we got picked up, we were like, hey, where's my younger brother? And then I remember I had my best friend then, who was just like we were all just like looking at each other. And then my dad just broke down and was like, he was hit by a car. And my life stopped. Like we were just like, but he was fine. But he's still traumas now by cars. Like,
how old is he now?
He's 21. Ooh, child. He's 21 this year. Yeah, so we're 10 years apart. That's how I got with my sister.
You basically grew him up. Like you raised him.
Yeah. So yeah, and then at some point in life, I have a 14-year-old sister.
So altogether, how many are you?
C4.
And you are third.
I'm the second. So I've
Second.
got an elder sister, Moloko, and then it's myself, and then it's Kutulo, and then it's Rabeto.
Yeah.
Rabeto is the queen. She's just like me. That's why we just get irritated by each other. We're the same. We look the same. Body-wise, she's got all my features. She's just me. She's just clever. I'm clever, but she's like, I think she's more. She wants to be a doctor, which I'm cool with because I will pay for your fees if you'll be a doctor.
Sure.
You know? My brother, on the other hand, wants to be a geologist or one of those things that you like study stones. I think
that's it. Yeah.
And that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So he's studying agricultural science and what, which I was like, cool, because we own a farm at home.
Okay.
So I was like, no, that's cool because it's that and that, but it's like, it brings forestry and you're from Limpopo, like just do. Yeah. So I don't know what he's going to do about that. But
just support the young man. Who knows? He'll be the best geologist South Africa has produced.
But remember, history is that we always write in terms of what you need to study. Like, hello.
It's true. Let's jump back into UJ. What was your experience like? It's a 3-year course, right?
It's a 3-year course.
What was your experience like? Were you a party goer, party animal? Were you in the res on the whole studying the whole time?
So I was lucky enough to stay at res. I stayed at Panorama Residence. For all 3 years. Did. I was kind of not really rebellious, but in first year I was just like, I didn't want to be part of whatever they want to do at Raise. I was like, why must I be part of that? Nice thing that my crew that I found were all the same. When they wanted to call us downstairs, we'd lock our rooms. I would not. My friend Lucia had her room was the balcony room and it was bigger. And then she stayed with Yvonne. Was it Yvonne at that time? I think so. And then we were all just in there. Like we were all in there chilling.
You guys are loners, but you want to be loners together.
Yeah, we want to be loners together.
Okay.
We want to, but we were known, we were seen or perceived as the ones that just didn't listen, you know.
Okay.
But anyway, so I wasn't rebellious in varsity because I was also scared. I was never exposed to the party life and stuff because my parents are very strict.
When did you stop drinking?
Oh my gosh, my mother's going to watch this.
That's okay, you've grown now.
But anyway, so December 2010, I had my first drink.
Okay.
And it was because it was my dad's drink. Because he was drinking Hunter's Stride. And I was like, oh, this is not bad. So why is my mother saying alcohol is bad? But it must also remember my mother's like a pastor.
Okay,
anyway. So she studied theology. She went to theology school. She never stopped studying. I think she's doing her master's now in theology or honors.
Okay.
So so I was always brought in a Christian home, you know. So even saying these things, she's gonna watch this thing. She's gonna kill me. Anyway, so
your mom is 100% proud of you. Trust me. There's nothing you could say or do that's gonna make her not proud of you.
Yeah, not when it comes to that part. But anyway, so that's when so even in varsity, I wasn't that girl that goes out. Didn't go out a lot. My friends and I did try. I went to Taboo once, never again, because I will never go to Taboo again. I'm sorry.
What was the experience? What happened?
No, it was I was just tired, and it was just doofing sound. And then when I left, it was just like, "Zee," and I'm like, why are we doing this to ourselves?
It was just doofing sound.
Doofing sound. I'm like, no, this is actually not cool. This is actually not cool. But then I realized I like something. I like the kasi vibes.
Okay.
You know, I like the chisanyama, you know. So like that was nice. And anyway, yeah, my mother's just gonna find this out. It's okay. So the guy that I'm dating now is actually the guy that I met when I was in my first year.
Okay.
So yeah, I met Ribo. He was from Soweto. So every single time you'd come with his crew, they would convoy. Like it's like I like that. You know, I like that. Convoy to Soweto, we chill, then come back. So and that didn't happen like every weekend. And then school was the priority though. Like
you knew what you were there for.
I didn't miss my classes.
Better than me.
Yeah, I didn't miss my didn't miss my classes. I was not a top student, but every semester it was me 4 at least distinctions. So I was there, you know. Yeah. I was noticed by my lectures. I was like, I loved school.
Were you class captain?
I don't think are there those things in
Like,
varsity?
what's SRC type of vibes?
Oh no, I was you see, that's where I was like. So in my last year, I was a student academic advisor.
Okay.
In my second year, no, in my last year, I was a student at Panorama. So I was employed by UJ. So it was my first paycheck.
Wow. Okay, and that was going to be my next question. What was your first actual job? So what was your role there?
So as a student academic advisor, I would assist the first year. So I'd help them make sure that if they've got issues at school, I would have to then speak to the SRC or whatever, or like try and like sometimes we'd be like, I didn't get my
Stipend.
textbooks, I can't afford this or I can't afford that. Then we'd put that forward to our res manager. I would also they had study sessions every evening. I had to be at those study sessions. And then each academic advisor was at a specific floor. So I had a floor, and then my best friend, who is still my best friend now, Pindile, was academic advisor. So we were always like, she's got a master's now. I'm just chilling with I'm just chilling with my qualification. But so we were academic advisors. That was my first job. But in the same year, I had to do my role, which is work integrated learning. So I was an intern for Inzalo Communications. It was headed by Bridget van Holt. The best. Okay. That woman, if I could give her credit for where I am right now, it would go to her because she taught me so much. But my traumatic experience was that every time when I went to work, I used to watch The Devil Wears Prada.
Why?
Because that's exactly how it was. Yeah. And it's not, and you will thank those people. Hey, I don't want to lie to you. The first day, I remember she asked me to send a letter. I don't even understand why we're sending letters in 2013, but it's okay. So she would tell me to write her. Oh, I had to send a letter, or we were sending a letter or something. And she's like, write the person's details outside, you know? And then I wrote it with a pen. Like, I'm writing, you said I must write. Mm-hmm. She literally just, oh, I forgot you're an intern. She threw it at me. and then she's like, use a laptop. I'm like, but I don't have to be an intern to not use a laptop. You just said I must write it.
Write a letter.
Said, type the address.
No, but you also. No. Okay, let me get my pen and pad out.
I'm just like, let me write, and then let me cut it, and then let me put it on the envelope, you know.
You thought you were doing something, huh?
Yeah, and then she literally this was her gesture. She didn't even look up. But Bridget van Holt, the best. My first article that I written for Greenpeace was published. My name was in the newspaper. Wow. I was like, bye.
As an intern.
As an intern.
Wow.
So that was my first of many. Then it was Lafarge. Moved to a lot of clients.
Where does Glasshouse Communication come in?
So Glasshouse Communication, this is where it comes in. Inzalo and HMC were merged into Glasshouse Communication. Okay. So it was now I was the intern that came with Bridget, while the other people had 5 people in their team and whatever. Okay. But I was heading. So when I was an intern, because it was just me and her, because one of the ladies resigned and the other one was at maternity leave from her company. It was just me and her. So that was my first interaction with Nelson Mandela Foundation. Okay. Which was cool.
NGO work is always cool.
It's always cool. My first gig with them was they were doing a press conference, I think. And I was the lady who was giving the mic to people.
Wow.
That was cool.
Were you wearing black, trying to be as small as possible?
And they were like, delegate or whoever or premier or whatever. Just with the mic. But yeah, that was my first gig with him. And then I did Lafarge. That's when I realized that I should never have my steak well done.
I mean, I still do it to this day. I'm uncultured like that. I just can't do the blood, and I know they say it's not blood,
But
it's
medium
juice.
to well
but
is cool.
I can't. I'm
Try
sorry.
it. So
I'll try. Okay, I'll try it
She
this
even
weekend.
said to me, the first thing, she's like, okay, let's order our steaks. And then I'm like, can I have a steak? And then afterwards, Bridget was sitting next to me. And Charmaine, who was like the marketing manager at that time, I think, was sitting at the side. And then she's like, I'm like, okay. And she's like, okay, how would you like your steak? I'm like, well done. And then Bridget was like,
turned.
Yeah, Bridget was like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. And when it comes, I'm like, oh, this is why. Because damn. Yeah. But yeah, that was my first. So I had 2 jobs in my last year. It was academic advisor by night and client service intern by day.
Wow, so you were getting money, huh? What were you doing? Yeah, this is an important part. What were you doing with your first kind of paychecks or stipends at that beginning
One thing
stage?
I didn't do is save. But one thing I did do is buy a TV. I was that girl who had a TV in Res.
Okay.
I had a TV.
The nice TV.
Yeah, I used to buy. Those times Mango was a thing. Like Mango shops. I used to go to Rose. But my friend had a car, Pindi. So me and Pindi stayed at the top. She stayed above me. And we all had to stay in the 04 rooms. So it was a 8th floor building, if I'm not mistaken. And then we all AAs, academic advisors, stayed in 04 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to think that we stayed like in an upstairs apartment, even though I had to like actually take a lift to get to her place. But so downstairs would be like the lounge area where it's my bed and then the TV, and then upstairs is like the kitchen. So we do things together like that. So yeah, I went shopping. My mother still paid for Ray's, my parents, but they never paid for entertainment, groceries, and all those things.
Because you were getting a paycheck.
I was the highest, one of the highest. I was getting 5.5 a month.
Sure. Yeah.
That was my first.
That's a good one.
And then I go to Ray's and I'm getting like, how much was it? We were getting 1 point or 4 points. I think
4
it was
point.
1 point something. No, I'm lying.
Oh,
1.8 a month.
A month. I mean, that's good. That's good.
I was getting 7K.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
how much?
I mean,
But also in the same time, I had opened my company in Matric.
I'm trying to get the name. It's your event management company.
Yeah, it's La MC.
La MC Events. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I'm busy. I'm a busy person.
Very busy. Right? I think it's that one.
Yeah, I think it's that.
one. You had 2 jobs in university. What are you doing? But moving forward from PR to account management, when did you enter the advertising agency environment?
It took me a while, so let me just backtrack you. So when I graduated, I actually did a certificate with Boston after I got my qualification at UJ, which was public project management.
Okay.
I worked for an IT company, that's Reflex Solutions, and I worked there for like a year. And so I loved it to a certain point, because now I was like, okay, why am I in IT?
Yeah.
You know, like
Dudes wearing chinos and those empires.
The dudes at Reflex are cool. Okay. Oh, they were like cool guys, you know. I met my first guy best friend there. His name is Nell. So everything was cool. Like Reflex was cool. Like it was a company that would take us away. Like they took us to Bloemfontein. What is that place?
Bella. No, not in Bloemfontein. Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
On the way to Bloem or something like that. But anyway, we went there like everyone Protea Hotel and was
wow,
like,
okay.
So they go extra mile. But anyway, but it was cool, but it was all men. It was nice, but it was like, I need to go now.
It was IT.
And I missed PR. That's when I then went back into PR completely. Okay. I started my journey at Savio Communications, where I learned a lot. I think Savio literally paved my way in terms of like, what do you really want to be when you like, you know? I worked on big clients. I worked on Kotex South Africa, which was cool, quite cool. I launched their campaign. I don't want to say what it is, because now it's like, no. It's She Can.
Okay.
She Can. Before Boys.
I'll look for something and I'll pick it up. I'll bring it up on the screen.
Yeah. Before it was when I started working with first influencers like Nolo Siabi, Dr. Kanyile. It was like my first ones there. And then I also worked on a nutrition like brand. It was so difficult. It was Abbott Nutrition. It was only difficult because of the regulations, because it was breastfeeding and all those things. Okay. So that was cool. But I also learned a lot in terms of like supplements and all those things. So I put my grand on Insha because I worked on Insha. So the problem about being in advertising or being affiliated with a brand is that you will not use any other brand.
Yeah.
I do not use Always.
Well, it depends. It depends on how you feel about the brand.
Or I don't even want to care. I feel like I'm cheating on them. So I don't
Till this day.
I don't use Always. I use Kotex till this day.
Wow, you're loyal.
Family does
Converted everybody.
Can't. Dude, there was a time when my mother wanted to buy a car. I said she must go and buy Santa Fe. That's how hard it is. Like,
Hyundai days. Shout out to the Hyundai days.
So I was like, oh, shout out to Hyundai days. So I was like, so yeah, and then I worked on Kotex, and then I unfortunately got rechanged.
And then, which led you to?
Which led me to Clockwork.
To Clockwork, which is where we met.
That's where we met. And fire stuff.
Yeah, we made some fire stuff, and that is where you got a position as an account manager for the first time, officially.
Digital account manager. Digital experience.
I can attest to this, but she did amazingly, guys. Just, talk us through that and what it was like entering that environment. Like, now I'm in the agency environment, we're doing this thing.
Yeah. So I'm from a boutique agency, which was Sabio. When I got into Clockwork, firstly, it was a big agency. There were so many guys. Everyone had like processes. I'm like, what the hell is happening here?
Processes on processes.
Are we having this? What's magnetic? Why are we doing this? And then, but it had a culture.
Yes.
Oh, Clockwork has a culture, guys. I don't want to lie. It still does. You know, I still follow them. I'm like that person. I will follow you forever. So when I actually got my interview, and I'll never forget this, I was actually called for the PR account manager role.
Okay.
And Lynn.
Shout out to Lynn Krochek.
Lynn asked the lady who was doing the PR interview to leave, and then she said to me, I'm going to be frank with you. I'm like, yeah. She's like, she's not going to hire you. I'm like, okay, but I've got a position for you.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, you've been talking about how much you love social, because I love social anyway. I just love social media. I don't know anything else about it. So she was like, I want to offer you a job. And I'm being retrenched here.
You probably grab at anything, right?
I'm like, what are you talking? What are you giving me? Are you giving me maybe it's not the account manager role, maybe it's a junior role. Mm-hmm. No, she's like, digital account manager. Please insert the things where you do that. Yeah. Like, what the hell is that? I'm like, oh, what's that? It's like, and then Lynn actually, she went, it's just social media management. Like, you just manage social campaigns. I'm like, oh, I can do that. No, I can do that. And then I met, and then afterwards, he called me in to meet Christian.
Gwandure, shout out to Christian.
And I was looking at him like, is that my boss? I sent a picture of him to my dad. He's like, your boss looks like, I'm like, Mark, he's a vibe. I've got a vibe as a boss. And then the first week I was solely on Hyundai South Africa.
Yeah.
Website development, what's that? Why am I doing website developments? I didn't study this in varsity.
We spoke about social.
I thought we spoke about social. We did website development, and I'm talking about back-end stuff, you know. And I looked at Christian, and I'm seeing this guy doing it. I'm like, what? So I'm just doing. I'm just like going with every flow. I'm attending meetings, speaking out, you know. And then I realized something. There was an I-20 campaign that we were doing, and that was the first time I actually spoke to the marketing director at Hyundai, like, properly. I think that's when they actually the team itself.
I don't think you can shout him out. Is he still there? Shout out to Oscar.
I don't think Oscar will ever leave.
Okay.
I think
he does an amazing job.
He just needs to like be CEO or something.
Right?
But he's amazing.
Shout out to Oscar. Shout out to
Oscar.
Yeah.
So Oscar was just like, he said the question came as to the other agency. I'm not going to call them out.
Yeah, we ain't going to do that.
How you asked that question was like, why would you guys want to use YFM for I-20N?
Wow.
Or I-20, not I-20.
Yeah.
And I looked at him.
Yeah.
And Oscar was going to answer. I'm like, can I answer? And then he was like, sure. I'm like, this is the worst position to be in. I'm like, it speaks to the target audience. As simple as that. Oscar didn't even like, Mosima don't even continue. Exactly that. And they were the creative agency. They were like, you know.
It wasn't the contentious in those meetings.
Yeah, it was because there was a lot of agencies in one, and it just like pulled heads. Yeah. But I also felt like we showed ourselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, yeah, no, we definitely.
Yeah, so that's how I moved into advertising in terms of like digital, understanding influencer campaigns. I I believe that I'm the source of influencer campaigns at Clockwork. I mean, like, there's no way. I feel like I need to get my flowers. Thanks, Clockwork.
No, you did an amazing job. No, you did.
Yeah,
you definitely
I think
did an
when we
amazing
did
job.
a lot of campaigns,
Yeah.
I never expected our campaigns to win awards.
So many campaigns and a bunch of awards that weren't expected.
And so many campaigns that we put forward that were never used.
That too. And you think about that.
And PK would be so mad.
Oh,
That was my idea and they never used it. And then if they use it, that was my idea and they never told us. I'm like,
I mean, look, and I've preached this, and look, I was also younger. I was earlier in my career as well. I was also learning how to deal with that rejection, with the no's, with the back and forth. No, make this change, make that right. Lots of no's, but when we got it right, we got it right. Let's talk about when a big time we got it right, which is the Hyundai venue. Don't cross your T's.
So I
campaign.
love telling the story because I feel like it's just
Okay, you go ahead. You do it. You do
You're
it.
gonna tell us with me. Everyone, you're gonna narrate it with me. You just speak
Yeah.
People gonna think, how shit business unit manager tell us. Anyway, so everyone here knows about it. Even my boss next door, guess what she drives now? A venue. Okay, so the T-Cross. I don't know why I'm giving them like A, but anyway, it's A time, but it's okay.
Tell me where it came from.
So Volkswagen T-Cross
was
launching T-Cross, and it was literally the same target audience as the venue, and the venue was launching a month later. They couldn't push it forward. They couldn't, And then we sat down, me, you, Paige, and Christian, and then Paige walked in, and she's like, looked at me, and I'm like, what? She's like, don't cross your T's. The venue's coming. I died.
What?
I was like, what?
Shout out to Paige Abrams. She was a senior social media manager at that time for Hyundai, and I had just arrived to take over on Hyundai at the time.
She was your temp. Like
yes.
You until you came in.
Yes.
So she came and she said to us, me and PK just at each other because you were literally sitting in front of me with Christian. We celebrated, and then Christian's like, "Mo, PK put the proposal together. We put the proposal together. Hashtags. Who's going to do what? Where? Kanjani." When we presented it to Oscar, the proposal wasn't even necessary.
Yeah.
Because we just said to Oscar, we've got an idea. We don't want people to be so consumed with the T-Cross now.
Yeah.
So we're just going to use one phrase. When we said, don't cross your T's yet, the venue's coming. Done. He stood up and he's like, do it. How much do you need?
I've never seen a client that excited for something or saying yes so quickly. Yeah.
That was like the best guerrilla guerrilla style
100%.
PR,
comparative advertising, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. So I was just like, wow. And it's so funny that the girl who was the Prism, I don't know, I think she was highlighted as something junior or upcoming, whatever. It's actually Oarabile.
Okay.
And she judged Don't Cross Your T's.
Okay.
Because she was like the one who was like, guys, I didn't know her by the time, just FYI. Okay, this was a fair win, thanks.
Hey.
So yeah, and I was like, wow, okay, no, but she knew it. And the fact that she knew it, and when we saw the stuff, guys, let me tell you what happened the day of. The day of, me and PK were moving the billboards with our bare hands.
Listen, look, I didn't expect to wake up that morning and to be lifting a mobile billboard with my dainty little female colleague. But there we are.
I was tiny that time. I was like, what the hell are we doing?
You know what I mean? I'll put the picture up, the exact picture, and so many things could have gone wrong. I have. No, not of us doing.
Of the actual thing, because we had to put it right under the billboard.
Yeah.
Of the VW.
Because the guys who dropped the billboard, they just dropped it there. I'm like,
that's not
the
thing.
That's not the thing.
So we had to do that. At the same time, you had to make sure that the social media stuff is being answered to. Even like everything was just flowing.
Then boom, the conversation starts picking up, and we're like, boom, there we go.
And then we won an award.
Yeah, we won a couple of awards for it, no?
I think it was 2, and then we also won for when we launched the i30N or what. I don't know. We got cool. It was influencer marketing campaign, whatever. Yeah. And that's when I was like, this is it. I can't be anywhere else.
This is what you gotta do. Yeah,
this is what I gotta do. You know. And then it sucked that I had to change teams, and everyone, like all 3 of us. Me, you, Christian, and Paige left Clockwork, but we literally went our separate ways.
Literally, yeah, it was sad, but I mean, look, it was an era, and the memories of it. Like I say, we literally lifted the billboard, and if we didn't do that together,
it was not going to be.
It wasn't going to be a success. We wouldn't have won. No, there wouldn't have been anything. So that's why I mess with you. That's why I mess with you. Moving on. What are you currently working on here at Styling Concepts? I know your accounts are Dickies, Palladium, L'Oreal. Talk to us about what your current role is.
So Styling Concepts is a fashion and beauty lifestyle boutique agency. We've got a sister company, Press Room, which is in Cape Town. I need to go to Cape Town. So it's in Cape Town, and we do all fashion, all beauty, or lifestyle. So the brands that we have here, solemnly, L'Oreal is one of our biggest. So we do L'Oreal advocacy, which is all the influencers, what you can think of, from Lux, like your Armani's and all this, to like your beauty, Maybelline, to Alvive hair, Garnier, all of it. We do all of the influencer campaigns. And then we then have Dickies as a brand. We've got Samson, Brentwood, Converse. So we do all that PR.
You have Dickies and Converse.
We've got, so that's the thing. Sky Group, they fall under one.
Do, huh? Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So we've got Dickies, Brentwood, Samson, Converse, Rookie, and then that's all the Sky people that we have. And then we have G-Star Raw, that's in Cape Town. We've got Pandora, that's in Cape Town.
You have some jeans.
High Tech. I want to be hooked up with jeans.
Right.
High Tech. We've got a good, client base, very much fashion. The lady that I work with here, or the owner, was first a stylist, and she knows this industry inside out, and it's nice to have me here because then she knows the traditional side of PR and I know the
digital
side.
Yes,
so we can both, I've got an amazing team. I had an amazing team in Clockwork. I've got an amazing team here, and the difference here is that I have to nourish them. It's my responsibility as the business unit manager. Yes. So I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I'm like, we're a team of 8. I think now we're going to be growing next week.
Wow.
Again, so I'm going to be managing like 14 girls, and then we've got our.
That's huge, Mo. Because from when we met, the growth is so crazy. I walked in here and I'm like, oh, this is your office?
I have an office.
She has an office. I'm like, girl, this is amazing. And she's like, oh, sorry, I feel like I abandoned you. I'm like, nah, I can't be mad at that.
Like, I feel like I abandoned PK, but it's all good.
I can't be mad at that. You're doing amazing.
I still call him for social advice.
Yes.
Because I can't let that go. And I was actually speaking to Christian yesterday, so I'm always like,
I mean, it's people who you've met in your journey, and if you can pick up the phone and be like, hey, can you help me with this one to give me some context? So what is your day-to-day like here at Styling Concepts?
So I'm a business unit manager, so I basically take care of like mostly everything. But I'm solemnly like on L'Oreal. I do help my boss when she needs like other stuff on like other brands and stuff. But I am a business unit manager, senior strategist for L'Oreal. That's how I was brought in here. But because I'm so
liking things and doing many things
and I want to
once.
learn a lot. Still, I still do. I dip in. I dip in a lot of the events as well, which is quite cool. We did a Dickies event last year. You should show it here.
I'll bring it up.
Like something like it was so cool. It was the heritage. It was the 100th year birthday. Wow. So we like did a whole thing at Hallmark, where we show the different how they started and all those things. So it's quite cool. It's on my Instagram. But day to day, I have more than 10 people coming into my office asking for help, crisis management. This is why I got this award.
Let's see the award. What does it say?
Yes, the award. So, what does the award say?
The Code Red Award, proudly presented to Mosima Manthata. Everyone knows they can go to Mo in a panic. No matter your sticky situation, she knows exactly how to fix it.
Yes, I'm the fixer. So my day-to-day is fixing. I'm basically my boss's right hand. Here. So I hire, I fire.
Damn. That's the tough stuff. Hey, listen, look. As the lead of a team as well, it's the most difficult thing to hire as well, because you want to make sure you're making the right investment to the company and for your team, and to make sure you're able to operate how you need to. But the firing part, guys, it's and I like to. I think my team thinks that I'm very cool. I hope they do. They must comment and tell me if I'm right. But I think that they think that I'm really cool and I'm there to help. But also, like, my day-to-day includes that I've got processes. I do processes. Guess where you got it from? Yeah.
So I have like a lot of processes that I've put in place. Yeah.
Okay.
I
like that didn't exist before that you brought in.
It didn't exist before.
Okay. Stuff like what?
So like when I got here, there's a lot of like from an advocacy perspective, there's a lot of things that you need to understand from a I mean, it's a corporate company that we're working for, one of the biggest, and
global.
Yeah, and I get audited, dude. Like I have to do the audit, like I have to like get all these documentations, contracts. So I need to make sure that all briefs come in. They didn't have a briefing template. That's how I had to start.
So, yeah, from the beginning.
Magnetic, Tanya, thank you.
Shout out to Tanya.
Shout out to
Domain
Tanya.
Nations.
So, like putting briefing documents together, putting templates together, putting processes and tuning it as to how we work, making sure that it aligns with client stuff, making sure that I've got the right personalities for each brand. It's very important, guys. Some people are not even interested in beauty, but like they're not even interested, or not interested, but they're more into hair. So I have to actually sit there and look at my team and be like,
know your people.
She's actually like, there's a girl here, she's still here, Anati is so, she's got this mindset. She's very strong as a client service, but we had put her as press office, which is like our press office. But when I put her on, she's actually the account manager now on Dark and Lovely. She's thriving. So I have to sit there as well as part of my job to be like, this is not working. I need to shift and like I need to change. How do I change? Because one thing I'll never do and I don't want to do is just out of the blue say, okay, no, you're not good at your job buying. It doesn't make sense. No one did that.
You have to try it out. Yeah, exactly. That too. You have to try different things out, mix and match, and see where people
risks,
fit.
As well. So, that's my day. So I run L'Oreal advocacy here. I attend events, guys. You see, that's the nice part of it. But I attend events, but I don't attend events to chill. I mean, like I go. Yes, I'm like second in senior here, but also. You're in a team like this, like when I explain to everyone in Dickies, I'm like, you guys are not going to expect an intern to pack socks. I'll pack socks. Yes. I'll pack shoes if I have to.
And this goes back to you lifting that freaking billboard. You're not mad. You're not scared to get stuck in.
It doesn't matter where you are in your hierarchy or level at work. Yes. If you want something to be a success, you all need to come to the table and make it a success, you know.
I think is that Limpopo humble upbringing, values.
Like, you know. We're together. So I think it's also my upbringing as well. It's like I don't look down on anyone. Yes. And one thing my dad said to me is that because when we were growing up, me and my sister were the girls who only spoke English. We didn't know stock. Right now, like I speak. But before, when you grew up, you couldn't. I was just like, when my cousin's like, I'm like, are we eating pap? Every single time my cousin, especially my brother, I call him my father's son. People think that he's literally like an illegitimate son. No, he's my aunt's son. I'm named after his mother. Okay. So he would always remind me that I used to always say, you know, I'm like, no, I must be like Ijanam or something like that. And then afterwards, I'm at the bone area. So I can hear what they say when they kill a rap. You know, but okay, Mosima, we're not Ujang. I'm like, Kizali Zabu. And because I'm just like, I need to like feng shui a bit.
Oh, cheese.
I can't believe I said that, but
cheese. Yeah.
So that's why my dad was like worried that how are we going to grow up? Like, you know, but I'm so adaptable. I think I adapt to certain situations. I adapt to, you know, I remember when we were doing activation with Creta, it's in Soweto, and I became the MC. That wasn't even planned. I was just supposed to get there.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Soweto TV there. It was on the news. It was like this thing. And then they didn't have an MC, and I'm like, okay. The brand manager, you need to MC. She's like, no. I'm like, who's going to MC? But I know I've got that skill set. I know how to.
And you didn't want to let the team down. You're like, you know what?
No, I'm going to do this for the team. Even Christian was like, hey, bro, you were so good. Like, and you're dealing with kids. I had to be like, what's up? You know, hello.
Was it the one with Lerato Khanyaho
came. Yeah. So that was at level my
I was so happy I didn't have to do all 18 of those activations with you guys. I'm fine behind my laptop managing the session. It's fine.
So I've got many hats. I think that's also the thing about me. And all of them falls within, like, I'm not going to say entertainment industry, but in the industry that I'm in. Like, so MCing, events coordinating, me doing advocacy and influencer work.
On your own, well.
I've done the PR element of it, the traditional side of it. I got my media contacts. I'm good.
You're also a bit of an influencer yourself.
Am I?
I mean, you have a couple of...
I mean, I don't have a lot of followers, but in my followers, they do say, oh my gosh, like hook me up with your style. Where did you buy this?
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So I guess I mean I'm not
Micro.
gonna make it public because y'all out there are y'all.
But you're a micro
Stalker-ish.
influencer. Oh, you don't want more followers?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm at a space right now where I'm happily in a relationship and people are not happy.
Yo, listen, I'm not gonna put you out there too much, but look, we've prayed for Mosima to find a good, solid man, and I'm very happy for you.
Oh my gosh!
I'm so happy for you.
Christian's speech at my 30th, my surprise 30th, he's like, he looked at my boyfriend. Oh no, my partner.
Yes,
and he's like, my bro, we fasted. We prayed. We interceded. I'm like, you can stop. You can stop. So yeah, no, I'm at a point where I think I just need to be more, but I know that where I actually do want to be out there in terms of people understand who I am and how hard I've worked to be here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was public for some sort. I just want to keep it private for now. Even though I don't post my man and our beautiful daughter. I say our, but it's his, but it's our.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just like, do I really want to go public? And I'm looking at what I'm posting. I just don't know. So I don't think I'll ever be an influencer. No.
Okay. I mean, you behind the scenes, you do it so well behind the scenes. Why jump into that?
Yeah.
Talking about your social media, this is time for the segment called All Up in Your Business. All Up in Your Business.
Oh, what is
that? I went to your social media channels and I picked out a couple of posts, a couple of things that I would like some context on. It's a safe space. Let's go. This one is from Twitter, 12 Jan 2021. If they can just stop mowing the lawn in this complex every day. My thing is, I get your frustration, right? But it's not like it's a holiday. Holiday is not paid to be there. You pay your levies for that grass to be cut. What's the problem?
Yeah, but then what time was that?
What time? It's not.
It doesn't
in
show.
the screenshots.
It's not. Which complex was I staying at there? Because no. It wasn't where I stayed in my duplex. It was where I stayed in Midrand, and it was just and they were just mowing and mowing. They were not stopping. Like, do it in the morning. Maskeza when you can mow. Or do it lunchtime. Just not any time in when you want to keep out your things and plug and whatever and mow the whole day. And the worst thing that I stayed in front of like a clear, like open field. You can imagine the open field. Bamo. Bancha. Loni, and they're taking forever. So no, man.
I hear you.
I can't believe you picked that out of. I was so excited, and so I'm like, "What the hell is this?"
I just need a context on this because we pay levies for a reason, guys. Come on, this one here. Nothing out here is worth you getting
out of
character. Heart emoji. Who pissed you off and why did you sub them?
It's so funny because every single time I used to always want to in my previous, like, I think it was not last year, but the before, I liked quoting things a lot. So if it's a serious post, I'd be like, I look hot in that picture. I look cute. So, but like, it was just like nothing out here is worth. But you know what's so funny about this picture? It wasn't even like I was in Mpumalanga on vacation. And I was just like, nothing out here. This is actually right. But I don't remember why I chose that specific one. But I know it had to be a man.
Done.
Men. It had to be an ex.
Here's one. You're out here at the Atlantis Dunes.
Guys, look at my legs.
She's at the Atlantis Dunes standing on top of a four-wheeler. Caption says, Siri, play Pop Smoke Deal.
Do you know the song?
Hold up. Makamere. Huh? Billie Jean.
Christian Dior.
Yo. I'm up in all the stores.
If you know what I mean. No.
She like the way that.
So that.
What's going on, and why are you standing on top of these nice people's four-wheeler?
Because that was like a beautiful pose. I feel like that was a beautiful pose, and every single time I think of something dangerous that I do, I just think of Pop Smoke Dior. I don't know why. Like, I love it. And that's how it was doing, you know? So, yeah, and I felt like I was cool. Look at the air, like my hair, and how I was holding my... Like, I just feel like I was it's
a dope picture. This one, last but not least, no, almost lost.
Oh,
this one here. You here at the Bungalow Clifton, living it up, absolutely. The caption is dining, seas, wine, and cool winds. A girl can dream. Yeah. Now, my question is, thinking back, a 16-year-old Mosima, did you ever believe, or did you foresee being in the position to be out there at the bungalow in Clifton, enjoying swiping fella?
Do you know what's so funny? This is actually one of the first vacations that I actually paid for myself, like without my parents. Like the first one, actually, flights, everything, like outfits, hair, check. No, I think when we grew up, we were just thinking this is how it's going to be forever. Like, I'm going to stay in my parents' house. Not that you didn't want to like live out there, but I just thought that why would I want to go? I always go to Cape Town with my parents. Always go to Durban, Mpumalanga. I think my parents, one thing they did get right is that they took us to everywhere. We just haven't been overseas, but we've been everywhere.
In South Africa.
Yeah, and they took us all there. All 9 provinces. They ticked the box for us there. So when I go back to Cape Town, it's not like I don't know what it looks like. But I haven't been there where I can sip champagne and eat oysters and, go to Ayepi Cape Town.
Yeah, I mean.
That was just, or go to a wine farm, stuff like that, So, yeah, I never thought. I mean, I look happy.
16-year-old Mosima.
Oh, I look so happy. No, the 16-year-old Mosima, nah.
Wow.
Nah.
Here you are, though, with your own office and everything. That's the end.
There's one more.
Okay, let's do it. Yes. Oh, yes. Funny you mentioned La MC events in the somewhere
La
here.
MC events.
It's definitely here. I did that side hustle. #La MC. La MC.
Yeah, La
events.
MC events.
Talk to us about your events company. Why did you start it? It's still running, obviously, and what's going on in that space?
So I started this events company when I was in matric, grade 11 matric, and I had nothing. My spoons were not mine. We were still doing chair covers those years. Nothing was mine except for the chair covers because my mother went to town and got them made for me. But even if you see my decor, I'm even scared to. I don't even have the pictures actually because it was horrible. I'm like, why are people paying me? Like, what the hell am I doing? But it grew. So I had nothing until 2017. I was actually the government for once in their life. They did something right for me.
What did it
I got funding.
Okay.
I got funding, small business funding. So that whole process, my mother facilitated it for me because I was still in school and I was working. I'm like, this is just going to take forever. It's just going to waste my time.
All this paperwork.
Yeah, and we had to give them 3 different quotations from 3 different places of what we wanted.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's never going to happen. So, we get an email. This has been approved. It wasn't even more than a week. We had our stuff in our garage.
Wow.
Everything. 100 chairs of Tiffany, 100 chairs of Phoenix, 100 chairs of gold Tiffany, white Tiffany, Phoenix chairs, white, and then tables, 100 tables. This, I was just like, okay, this is a lot. And then that's when, instead of every event I did, remember I always had a supplier, and I didn't understand the concept of markups. So I used to just do, and then I'll just have the money. And then my mother would be like, we're not even making 100 rand. I'm like, I know. I'm like, what's happening? So when I eventually sat down with Excel, and I'm like, okay, let's try to markup. So I started with the 25% because these things were not mine, and it was expensive. When I got my stuff, I mean, I could sell a chair. Like my chairs are 25 rand to higher, It comes into my pocket, there's some stuff that I don't know. Recently, the picture that you have there, I think it was my first time I did a balloon garland. Or second time. I think it was the second time.
Did you do it yourself?
So my teacher usually comes with me to help me. There's one that I did myself. It was like one with the pink and black for a girl. I did that on myself and I was so proud of myself. But because now this is where the trick part comes in. I have to do the tables, the chairs, the setup on the decor, on the tables and stuff, manage the bride or whoever's party it is, and do the balloon garland and stuff. So usually I get help. And my sister, God bless her soul, Boloko, and my mom and my dad, my younger brother and my younger sister, always
supporting you.
Always, because you must remember, this planning starts beforehand, and during that week, people need to wash the stuff. People need to take them out. My dad is always willing to take out stuff for me. He's always willing to wash the stuff for me. My younger sister always washes the glasses. My sister, before she got a job, because she's not back in Limpopo, my older sister, she used to always make sure that the things are accounted for when they're picked up. There's always transport, because I'm working during the day. But when the day comes,
on the ground,
I'm the one who's doing the decor. They're helping me. They say, okay, Mosima, do one table, we copy that table. So that's how we move fast. I do one table, everyone now copies the same table. Because they know that I'm very moody when it comes to my family, and they know it. My boyfriend also knows it. My partner knows that I'm very moody. You know, I'm very moody. But my parents are like, my mother would even like, oh, go to your room or something like that, because I'm just, you know. But yeah, so yeah, my company is doing well. We're seeing the profits.
Okay.
I don't see the profits because, guys, the reason why I opened up my company and I'm pushing it is black tax.
Right.
They tax me there.
That's where it
That's
comes
where
from.
they tax
That's
me.
the fund.
So every single time that I'm like,
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't see the money because you know what's so funny? Because everything stays at home. Okay, well, there we go. Everything stays at home. So someone would be like, I want 60 chairs. I'm like, okay, can I pick them up? But I've got cash and stuff. And my dad would be like, okay, no, we'll receive it. Will I ever see that money?
No,
what's that? What do you mean? Someone came for check. Yeah, someone came for chairs. Okay, where's the what?
We bought Croza.
We bought our Mosima, you know, so it helps me with the black tax part.
Yeah.
Until then, I have to dip into my salary when there's no event. I'm like, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
now,
mind.
Mosima, you're on the way to greatness from all the positions you've held, the way you move around and interact with your team, the little that I saw so far, the way you are running your own company.
Thank you.
I mean, from a trick. Like you obviously have a plan in mind and a goal. What is that goal?
It's never to have my own advocacy company, just FYI. It's
Okay.
so fun. Because everyone's like, you're going to open up your own company. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I've got my own company. But me and my friend Pindy's also got her own company. It's called Moppy. No, I'm lying. That was her foundation. Pilo. I think it's Pilo. I'm sorry, friend. But she's got it's a career company. So she does all my, instead of me now having hiring some people to do my deliveries and collection, she does them herself.
Okay. Keep the money in the circle.
So one thing I've always dreamed about me and her doing is having our own company, events, and stuff. Because she's also based in Mpumalanga, so she's got that sector. I've got the Limpopo people. So you know, that's one thing that I want to do instead of is growing my events company. At some point it was time. I'm like, do I really want to? I nearly closed it down last year. I was like, do I really want to do this? And then my mother's like, you're going to close it down after COVID. You ran through COVID.
Oh, you were still doing work?
Yeah, but people were just hiring stuff out.
Okay.
So we were not like, and personally, I was only allowing my family to only do like a minimum of 15 people because regulatory, you're not supposed to have more than 15 people in your house.
You don't want your business to have
so when
problems.
someone says 50 people, I'm like, why the hell am I going to be giving people 50?
This time,
you know? Sometimes you just need to be, how can I put it?
Not chase the money.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to follow the rules.
Yes,
you know, people, they've set the rules and, you know, it's even biblical, guys. Honestly speaking, about the government and the tax and whatever, all of these things are biblical. Read your Bible.
Word.
So, I just felt like people needed to, I need to close that down, but it's still going. But my dream in terms of my career is obviously I want to head this team. You know, I don't see myself moving out of where I am right now in terms of company. Well, maybe I'm not happy. I'm very happy where I am, or maybe it is me opening up my own. If that's the plan.
Down the line.
God, if that's your plan, bring it. Yeah. Scared-ish, but bring it, you know. I do want to do something with my partner. I don't know what. But I think we deserve a family business of our own. But I want to grow spiritually more. I think financially, I'm not. People are always like, I want to have more money and stuff like that. It's not like I'm not happy. It's not like I'm perfect where I am. Yeah. But I think my focus needs to be more on my spiritual side of stuff, my growth and all that. And then, being a better person and planning for my. I need to be a mom soon, child. Guys, my mother would kill me if she isn't. Get married first, but Mahadiakai, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. What's your dream brand? Yeah, no, actually, sorry. You survived all up in your business. It was safe space. It was good, right?
Yeah, it was
good to look back at certain things and think about them again with a fresh eye. Dream brand to work on. I know you work on a lot of this lifestyle and beauty brands. Dream brand to work on that you think you would smash it.
Cheers. I don't know. I've never worked on an alcohol brand before.
Okay.
So I would like to work on an alcohol brand. Guys, my mother's going to really think that I'm a rebellious child after this. She's really going to be like, Mosima, where's your faith? Like, you've never spoken about God this whole time you're here. But anyway, it's fine. I actually want to work on, I don't know why Jameson comes to mind. I would love to work on Jameson, but I don't think it's a dream brand. That's
I think
just
they
the
call
brand.
it Jamison. If you were sitting in front of the brand manager now, they wouldn't be happy with you.
Would they not?
It's not Jameson, it's
like
Jamison.
Hyundai.
Oh, hey, that was another.
Okay, Jameson, you say.
Yes.
So, Jameson. I'm putting it out there that I'm going to work on RGBC. I'm putting it out there.
What's that?
It's a holding company for like Henny and all those ones.
Oh, okay.
So I'm putting it out there. Okay, and a champagne brand. I actually want to work on a brand that allows me to travel. Actually, I want to travel, guys, without me paying.
Right. Yes.
Why must I pay?
Maybe we got to get more into the events side of things then.
Guys, but you know, Hyundai made me travel
Further into the event. Yeah, you did Cape Town. You did.
I only did Cape Town.
Limpopo was.
They cancelled that.
Oh yeah, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Dope. What about your work-life balance? I know you're very serious about your partner and everything, and you're looking towards the future and all of that. And if my memory serves me well, you are quite a workaholic. You would be the one typing away at night. You wake up to an email from Mo asking you for something or other. Is that still the same way? And what is your work-life balance
So the
like?
difference now is that I got a team that needs to work. I manage them, child. I'm joking. So I do have those in the morning emails, but it's not as bad as it was before. But how do I manage? What is the question? How do I manage?
Your work-life balance, like, because obviously you still have your partner, you have your family, you have your business as well.
So what's different now in terms of like who I'm with? It's because like he has a daughter and stuff, so we need to balance out like that. He's also got like he wants his time. I want my own time. My family wants my time. Because I literally relocated my life to be on his side of the world. So I never unless it's like something like big. When I shut down at 6, I shut down. I never shut back up. I do put aside like an hour, 3 hours on a Saturday if need be. Because I remember when I was chilling with Rati, who is the cutest child ever, she was like, Mama, are you working? And I'm like, yeah. And I could see she understood. She's like, okay, after 2 hours, okay, Mama, you must stop working. I'm like, yeah, no, they need 2 hours, can't do it anymore. So she actually taught me that life lesson, that you need to balance your life. So weekends, Sundays, I don't work. Sundays are for lovers.
And for church.
And for church and for family. So usually if I'm not at my parents' house, I'm at a family member. It can be my cousin Gwen or someone. Or I'm chilling with him or church. And then, I cook a lot. I cook. I actually can cook. I bake. I cook. I chill. I then come to work and it's work. Through and through, it's work. Everyone knows. And then I shut down. You just need to learn to shut down and when to shut down. I've been working for 12 years. This is the only year where I've actually physically was able to be like, I'm actually going to leave my laptop at home and go to Limpopo without my laptop. I've never done that. Every single time I'm on my laptop. I remember, whose funeral was it? I think it was my uncle's.
It was right before we were supposed to do the last interview, right?
No, not that one. So my uncle passed away in I can't remember when it was. But it was my aunt to dad during COVID. And I was literally in the car in the rural areas with my laptop. And my aunt was driving us to my grandmother's house. And I was typing away, and then my aunt lost connection. Oh, I was in a Teams meeting. I think it was I think it was also included the big boss there by clockwork. And I was driving. When we were driving, it lost signal. And I'm like, Machamam Alisi, the signal. And then she was like, what is she supposed to do?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, that's when my aunt was like, don't they see that,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but I said I was going to work half day today because I traveled early so I can get there and then work half day. And then, but at the end of the day, there's some stuff that you just need to let go and just be in that moment, you know? So, yeah.
You can't stress over things that you can't control.
It's not going to bend. Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Watch her. Is the building?
No, I took leave for 5 days straight this week for the first time in forever because I always also felt like it's gonna, but it's not. It's gonna be okay. You have to, like you say, you have to trust your team and ensure that you instill the correct, principles in them. You know that they're gonna do what
and they know that they can get me anytime if they want anything. They know. So
yeah. Please make your mom proud quickly. Recite your favorite Bible verse.
Jeremiah 33 verse 3, call to me and I'll answer you and show you great and mighty things that you don't know. I also like Jeremiah 29 verse 11, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future.
Wow. Next 5 years for Mosima.
Managing director. That's not even 5 years. That's like a year.
Wow.
In 5 years' time, you'll be coming to my wedding.
Okay.
Not in 5 years' time, maybe in 2 years' time, you'll be coming to my wedding. I have a 3-year-old by then.
Yeah.
I'll have my own. I have a lot of my own stuff. So guys, when you reach a certain age, it's not even about like, sometimes you go, I want growth. That's how you move from company to company. It's not that. Right now, you just want stability.
Yeah.
And your stability also includes your peace of mind. So that's where I am right now. Yeah, I can work. Yeah, I'm capable. I know my capabilities. But right now, peace of mind. Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Any words for a young Mosima out there wanting to get into advertising, already in advertising? How do they make sure that their journey is fruitful?
Study. That's the first thing. There's no shortcut in advertising. I'm sorry. You can think that because I like social media and I'll speak my English and twang in front of someone. No, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You need to study. You need to understand what you're doing. Have passion for it. If you don't have passion for it, you're not going to do it right. I didn't want to understand what social media was until I worked with you, and I had to understand because I was asking you questions, and because it's the passion that comes out of it. You need to love what you're doing like any other thing. You need to sacrifice time. Our industry is very fast paced. You need to always be like trends, understand what's happening around you and stuff. And it changes. Remember, we were traditional for a very long time. We moved to digital just like that. And the pandemic made it worse.
Yeah.
So it's being able to transition in your own also, like, not being, like, even though you're not, like, let's say you're done with school, like I'm personally done with school, but I need to finish my BA with UNISA, but it's okay. But you need to not be lazy to read and understand what you're doing, you know? So also that. And one thing that, guys, and I'm not saying this because to make whatever, but you all need to put prayer. You all need to pray for your careers, where you're going in life. Like, you need to do that. And also, when you get your first job, save. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. Just save. Maybe I would be driving my Q2 right now.
Had you not bought that TV?
And not bought that. No, that TV is not a regret. I do not regret buying that TV. Huh? We enjoyed it. And the sad story about that TV, I bought it in 2013. I had it until last year. They broke into my house. Damn. And that's when they stole the TV. Samsung, guys, you must buy Samsung TVs. They lost.
They lost. But I'm sure it wasn't a smart TV by then.
No, it wasn't, but it was a flat. I put a nice TV. Jeez. I mean, hey.
Thank you so much for your time, Mosima. It's been amazing seeing you again after about 8 months.
I need to give shout outs. Do we give shout outs there? Because I'm going to be in trouble.
You can give them right now after I give you your flowers.
Oh.
You've been doing amazing stuff. Super proud of you, where you're sitting. You are here managing a team. I'm joking.
I feel so sorry for my partner when he watches this thing. But it's going to be blushing because I literally put it out there that who I'm dating. So it's like, oh, she ain't single, child. Yeah. I'm not single.
She's not. She's not. And you're doing such amazing work, and you can just see the trajectory and the things that you were involved in outside of work even. You're just going to keep going from strength to strength.
Thank you.
The values, the family values, it's all important, but you're not from there. You didn't live there, but you are there, and you can tell
I'm
those
from there,
values
through, guys.
Are from there. I wish you the best for the future.
Thank you.
Please send your shout outs before we wind it up.
Okay, cool. I want to send a shout out to my mother's side of the family, Bahama Sipa. Thank you, guys. I love you guys so much. I can't name you guys, but should I name them? So I'm actually going to go for Kwena, Masurole. Oh my gosh, this sounds so childish. That's what people do on the radio.
I'd like to send a shout out. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, shout out to Matumi Lucky Puti. Oh my gosh, who else is in that family? Tukulu. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get into so much trouble. But I love you guys so much. Mulale, my dad's side of the family says Muloko says Puti Dige Lady. Mamulele, I can't forget Sesimpo. It's actually a lot of y'all. Like, Maybe like I actually no, this thing's actually childish. I actually thought it was cool. No, I actually thought it was.
I gave you the platform.
It's actually so childish. But more especially, I want to actually thank my siblings and my mom and my dad.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Word.
And Christian and PK and Lynn.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody along the journey.
Yeah. Everyone.
Yeah. This has been the From A to Z podcast. I've been here with my homegirl, my sister, my former colleague, but my homegirl for life, Mosima Manthata. This has been the From A to Z podcast. Follow, like, subscribe, share, do all of those, make those things to make this thing go boom. This has been the From A to Z podcast. We out.
From A to Z, it's plain to see. This podcast is about people in my industry. Writers, designers, social media managers. Don't forget the data miners. HRPR, find out who they are and how they made it this far. From A to Z, talk about your family, talk about the goals you reach, talk about the plans you see. Let's get it. Welcome aboard. I'm your host, PK Mugweni, and this is the From A to Z podcast.